My parents, they didn't sleep in the same bed for
10 years.
Longer than that. I was a baby. I was little.
This is our marriage. This is it. Welcome to Modern Parents Podcast.
I'm Danyelle.
And I'm Vince. And this is episode 5.
5.
Can you believe we've made it so far to 5 episodes?
It's crazy.
That's a big deal when you have kids running around. We've actually been able to do something long enough to make it to 5. So a whole hand.
Yep. Whole hand.
Fit in a whole hand. Anyways, so we're going to start off today with some unpopular opinions. And we found 2 that we're both pretty passionate about here. And then we're going to get into some other fun stuff. So make sure you stick around to the end of the episode because we have a really, really good kind of, devil's advocate kind of opinion thing going on at the end of the episode. So what is the unpopular opinions?
First one. I would rather relax in my own space than share a bed with a partner every night. Unpopular opinion.
So that's an unpopular opinion. That is an unpopular opinion. So let's break that down a little bit. So what this essentially saying is this person would rather relax and sleep in a separate room than their partner.
Yeah.
And let's just, in this particular instance, let's just say they love each other. They have a good, happy marriage.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong.
Yeah.
Like there's no they're not sleeping separately because they have any sort of
That's just that person's preference.
Yeah.
So that is an unpopular opinion because for me, I feel like something would be wrong.
Yeah.
If you felt the need to sleep in a different room on a regular basis.
Right. So I can understand where someone is coming from as far as they don't like if someone is kicking them or if their partner snores too loud or if I can understand their point of view. I can understand their point of view. If they get too hot, they want their own blanket. I mean, obviously there's ways around that. You can have your own blanket in a bed you share.
The beds, they make beds these days now where one side can be hot, one side can be cold.
Yeah.
Also, PSA real quick. I made that face not because I snore, it's because you snore.
Okay.
I have proof.
I have proof. Who's the one that had to have no surgery?
I had to have a reconstruction though. It's different.
Well.
Anyways, so
I don't personally feel that way, but I also associate couples who don't sleep in beds together as unloving couples because my parents, they didn't sleep in the same bed for
10 years.
Longer than that. I was a baby. I was little when my mom stopped sleeping in bed with my dad.
Oh, they stopped. That's right.
Yeah.
The 10 years thing is other stuff. So,
but now at this point, they've been divorced for almost.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyways, the whole point is yes.
So I associate that with people who want nothing to do with each other.
So I will say this. Now that I'm thinking back at it, if you remember, there were a couple times where I went weeks sleeping by myself just because.
Yeah, I know. And I thought you hated me.
Yeah. And it was more for me. I was dealing with, some other stuff that I had to deal with kind of internally. And I'm a late night thinker. So for me, I always feel like a little bit of an inconvenience if I'm awake at night.
Yeah.
Because I can't go to sleep.
So you don't want that to affect.
I don't want to. Yeah, I want to keep people. And because I toss and turn. So if I'm thinking and when the lights go off, my brain turns on.
Yeah.
And I just think and think and think.
Yeah.
And I've been that way since I was a kid.
I can understand if that's
if I got to work through something, I was I had gotten laid off and I was just really thinking about when I had switched career fields, right? At that point I was like, do I really want to go down the route that I've been going down with this specific industry, or do I want to make the decision to switch industries?
Yeah.
knowing that I was going to have to start from the bottom again and everything else. So it was one of those things where I just could not turn my brain off, and I just thought about it quite a bit at night. Because obviously having kids and the hustle and bustle of everyday life, you really don't get a chance to sit down and think about that. I was trying to send out resumes and trying to figure out what I was going to do. And then it was like going to dip into that world of applying into a different industry, doing something different than I'd done or known rather. So there, I did do that, but it was nothing wrong. You know, we still were intimate, right? We still had that stuff, but it was just one of those things where sometimes I'd be up until 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning because I just my brain would not stop.
So I can see if like a couple decides to just make like that decision, like, hey, we're just going to have our own space. Like if you come to that conclusion together and like that's just how you guys thrive in your relationship and you still make time for each other, like everything else is the same. Okay, I can see how a couple could come to that conclusion.
But it could also lead to a warning sign as well.
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess, if you're like, actually, we've been sleeping in bed together for the last 7 years, but now I want to have my own space. Like, I could see like...
Yeah. There needs to be a different discussion going on.
Yeah. But like and some people's love language is not like physical touch, you know?
Yeah.
Some people like... So like if that's just how you guys are as like a couple and your relationship is fine in like other aspects, like, okay.
So what do you think? Let us know in the comments down below. Do you think that's an unpopular opinion for couples to be in their own space, relaxing and sleeping separately instead of with each other?
You know what's crazy though? I did see something like couple of years ago, and now that like we're talking about this, it's like all coming back up. It was like before the Great Depression, it wasn't uncommon for people to have their own bedrooms who like were married or who were married, but because of that, like it was so much harder to find like a house with rooms for every person in your family. Like people, like families shared one room, like mom, dad, kids, everyone,
several generations stayed
in a room. So, like, it wasn't uncommon for people to have separate rooms. So, like...
Yeah, but I think back then also it was, like, the separation of male and female as well. Like, women did their duties, man did their duties. Yeah. Like, that was also a lot more common. So, like, all the ladies maybe slept in one room or something like that. Maybe, and the only reason I can say that is because, like, back then, too, if a man and woman slept in the same bed and some coitus happened, you were having a kid. There was no protection. It was like,
that's true.
You know, it was like if we're sleeping in bed,
you know
what I'm saying, we're slamming ham.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We're going to have a baby in 9 months.
Yeah, 9 months we're having a baby. So
that's true.
So so that's the first one. Let us know in the comments down below what you think about that one. The next one is
you can't have too many baby showers.
So unpopular opinion, you can't have too many baby showers.
Sorry, go.
No, you go ahead.
I believe every baby deserves to be celebrated. So, first kid, 10th kid. If you want to have a baby shower for that baby, go for it. Now, if I think you could be like, you don't have to bring a gift, or like if you want to bring diapers, like cool. Like I don't know that I would ask every single baby shower for you to bring like baby stuff, right? But like we had our 2 boys. So with our second, I had like a baby sprinkle. That's what they called it, I think. A little baby sprinkle. It was like a surprise thing. And people still brought me things, but it was more just like a celebration of like this baby that's coming. But we already had so many baby things. Like I didn't really need more. Now, of course, people still bought like new outfits and whatever.
Yeah, a little special thing.
Yeah. But as far as like, you know, the stroller, the bouncer, you know, high chair, we already had all that.
Yeah.
So like we didn't need crazy things or like the more expensive items, I guess you should say. But then we had a girl. We had a girl, and so like everything was so different. But we had also gotten rid of all of our old baby stuff because at that point it had gone through, you know, our other kids, and it was just like time to get new stuff anyway.
Yeah, we had stuff. We were using stuff from like when Wyatt was a baby.
Yeah.
Like
like the stroller and high chair, like that was all.
Yeah, we just cleaned it and kept reusing it.
Yeah,
because it was in good condition.
Yeah,
right. But I know people who absolutely despise someone that has several baby showers.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm like, I'm not against it.
Yeah. You know? I think every baby deserves to be celebrated. I
think every baby needs a baby shower if they're like years apart. But if you, and this is nothing wrong if you're one of the people that have kids like every 9 to 12 months. I have a friend that for the last 15 years, they've every 9 months, every 12 months have had like a baby. It's crazy. Or at least they get pregnant. Yeah. Right. But I don't think that person should get a baby shower for every single kid.
See, I think
7 baby showers.
Okay, but also just like having a party for like a new baby, like
that's different. I think you need to differentiate what you consider a baby shower.
So if you,
I consider a baby shower an event in which you play games and there's like guessing games for how big the baby's gonna be, and there's a bunch of presents there. That to me is like a baby shower. It's not necessarily. It's more for the parents than it is for the celebration of a child.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I can agree.
You can get down with that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But I think if there's like 3-4 years apart, yes, I think the kids should have a baby shower. You know, for the parents and that kind of stuff, because you don't know what the parents need help with or what stage of their life they're in. We were very, very different from our last child, from our last boy child to our girl child. Mm-hmm. Our life was completely different. So we didn't need as many things, right? Because we were a lot more financially stable,
right?
Sometimes sometimes it's reversed, right? So I can see that, but so let us know unpopular opinions. Every child does not need a baby shower, and it's okay for people to have married couples, spouses, significant others to have 2 separate rooms. So, and we're not talking about like an office and a studio, that kind of thing. I'm talking about like
going
different bedrooms they sleep in and watch TV and that kind of stuff. So, before we get into our next topic here we want to go into, make sure to find us on all the social media platforms. Like, share, comment, follow, subscribe. We're trying to get to 5,000 followers, subscribers on all of our social channels, right? That 5,000 mark is a really critical one. That's where a lot of the algorithms start playing in when it comes to these other social media channels. We can help grow our audiences a lot more organically. So where can they find us at?
We got Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Twitter. Yep.
So that's where we're at right now with all of our channels. We're growing steadily.
Yeah, we are.
We've only been doing this for a month, so we're growing a little bit at a time. And if you want, almost coughed there. If you want a little extra Modern Parents podcast in your life, patreon.com/Modern Parents Podcast. How much is it?
$5 a month.
16 cents a day. That's it. 16 cents. You spend more money at Starbucks. You spent more money today on coffee than it would be to help us grow this amazing community. Again, we take no profit from this whatsoever. Yeah. We use it. Any money that we get, we use to try to give back. We help try to build Modern Parents Podcast. We try to get ready for some merch drops, some shirts, some leggings, some things that we're talking about we want to do, right? So it all goes into that. We don't keep it. It doesn't pay our bills, none of that kind of stuff. So if you want to pay our bills, that'd be great. But we are more than capable of doing that. So if you want a little extra Modern Parent Podcast, you want an extra episode every week, you want to get the first exclusives on any drops or merch or anything else we're doing, patreon.com/Modern Parents Podcast. So after all that, let's now get into, and I don't really know an unpopular opinion. Maybe this is just kind of something that I seen, that I was listening to someone else talk about this, and I thought it'd be a very good topic to talk about, because you and I have this a little bit, but we do it in a different way.
Okay.
So, there is a belief out there that women and men should not go on essentially like vacations or trips without their significant others. What I mean by that is like a girl's trip or a guy's trip. I seen a video on TikTok where it was a guy explaining that he did not want to be with a girl, and he would instantly break up with a girl if they tried to do a only girls night out or vacation, if they felt like they needed that. And for me, one of the sticking points in the video was in that situation, it would be like his girlfriend or wife going out with girls who are single because he doesn't trust their friends. And I kind of see this one of two ways. So I'm going to give you both of my two ways, and then let me know your opinion on this.
Okay.
I can see it as him being like, no, those aren't my values. So because those aren't my values and I'm not seeking any sort of male-only vacation, I expect that from my spouse, my significant other as well, right? I can see it from his perspective as like, these are my values. But then I can also see on the other side of it is like, are you so insecure about your relationship that you think that your significant other, spouse, girlfriend, whatever, is going to cheat on you? Because then that goes into the health of your relationship. Yeah. So one of them is steadfast in their ideology and how they want to run their life. And hopefully that's a conversation that they had. Mm-hmm. The other one is, I could see it's like, I'm insecure. I think my girl is gonna cheat, or whatever the case may be, right? I will say that from our experience, I am not concerned that if you want to do like a girls' night about you cheating or anything like that. I'd be more concerned for your safety.
Yeah.
But I will say that single girls usually put married women into uncomfortable situations. Single people. I'm just saying from a male side of things, I would be less comfortable with you going out with girls who are single. And we've had those conversations. You've had friends in college that were living their best life, and they wanted you to come out with them, and I was not okay with that because of the situations that sometimes happen where if they expect you to play wingman or something like that. Not that happened, but this is the scenarios I'm playing in my head. Hey, this single girl's living her best life. She meets a dude. She wants to go home with this dude. Well, this dude has a friend, and the friend's like trying to hit on you, and you're like, no, I'm good. I'm married. And like he's not wanting to take no for an answer. Like there's just situations that could arise.
Yes, there are, but also like I wouldn't be friends with someone who would put me in that position.
Yeah, but you've been friends with single girls who have done dumb shit.
Like what? I don't know.
I don't want to get graphic here on YouTube, but there's just, I could see it either way. So I'm very secure in our relationship. I don't think you're going to cheat on me if you wanted to go do a girls' night, but I would also be a lot more comfortable if you went with like your sister and your mom on like a vacation than I would be you going with like some of your like friends.
My friends that I have now, I don't have like single friends now.
Yeah, you don't have single friends now. It's a little different. Like if you and all the moms wanted to get together and go somewhere, that'd be fine. But like if you had a bunch of like single girlfriends that were like, come on, like I'd be like, I don't know about that. Just that's why we're talking about it. I think a lot of people out there run into this, and I can see both sides of it. I think it'd be a good conversation between us to have, but I could also.
So if going back to like this is this person's values like that, okay, then that relationship's not going to work. Obviously, if this like who's to say that this girl like they didn't go on a girls trip every year and that's like what they did. Like, so how are you going to expect your significant other, your girlfriend, to change what she has done with her friends as like...
Yeah, since they were in like college or high school. Yeah.
So if that's your expectations, that relationship's not going to work. Right?
Yeah. And just if that conversation was never had.
Yeah.
Or if, you know how the beginning of a relationship is.
Yeah.
The beginning of a relationship, it's like, oh, it's fine. But everything's great. Everything's fine. Like, and then you get to those points and you're like, I'm actually not okay with this.
So, I mean, then obviously like that's not going to work. But if it's like you're worried that your significant other is going to cheat on you, then obviously there's either that your partner has given you a reason to think that, or you are just like insecure in yourself, your relationship, that like, you know, but you have to have that level of like, I have to trust my partner.
Yeah.
And if you don't have that, then...
I used to think all the time that the whole like, I trust you, I just don't trust other people. Mm-hmm. I used to think all the time that was like a scapegoat thing, where it's like, no, that's just you don't trust your significant other.
Yeah.
But as secure as a relationship as we have, I know you've been hit on before. I know that you've been like guys have tried to talk to you, even though you were married and you told them they were married. They still tried to holler at you, right? So for me, I truly do trust you, and there's not a single doubt in my mind that you would never, ever, ever cheat on me. But dudes suck. Like bros they're just terrible fucking people. And they will, try to make those, oh, it's okay, he'll never find out. It's okay. And then next thing you know, your drink's getting spiked and you're waking up naked in a motel.
So that still just goes back to like safety aspect. Like,
yeah. Yep. People suck. So I would prefer you not to go on a girls' trip with like single ladies, but I feel like it would be a conversation we could have that as long as there were certain safety things put into place, I wouldn't have a problem with it.
So, okay, but how does going on a trip with like married friends, how does that change if a dude is still going to come up and hit on you?
Because usually if the girls are all sticking together, and this goes for guys too. Everything I'm saying goes for guys too.
Right. This is just...
Yeah, because there's women out there who hunt for wedding rings and try to fuck married dudes.
Yeah.
Like, but what I'm saying though is like there is usually with married secure people, it's like hey, you guys stick together. Hey, get out of here. Like we don't want none of that. You know what I'm saying? Usually married secure people are not looking to hoe it up on vacation. They're not looking to find a young, cute, single person to dance with, or they're not trying to find the whole, oh, I was drunk excuse or whatever the case may be, right? They're there to have a good party time experience with their friends, spend time with their friends. Like me and Shane go on vacation, like we want to go to like different hobby places that we're into. We want to go, do certain things like that don't involve girls. You know what I'm saying? There's certain trails that we can go on and we can walk. There's certain like stores and places that we want to go to.
You're not going to like party.
Yeah, we're not going to party, right?
Yeah, but what if like your girls' vacation is just like you guys wanting to
drink mimosas and
get pedicures or like I don't know.
But they said it's different though, right? You're getting pedicures, you're getting your whatever. Like there's certain things you're doing. You're going for experiences, right?
Yeah.
One of those experiences is not getting the hammer put to you by somebody else.
Like so like if we wanted to go and have like an experience vacation, like we're gonna hike, we're gonna like.
But do you think you'd be more likely to do that with your current group of married friends or your previous group of single friends when we were married? Who do you think would want to go to the club more? Who do you think would want to get drunk more? Who do you think would your single group of friends that were in college and living that life would be more willing or wanting to pull you into that situation than your group of friends who are like, we just want to sit by the pool and read a book in silence because we don't have kids climbing all over us.
Yeah.
Right? Guys are the same exact way. So if me and Shane were to go on vacation, it would be a thing where we might go drink at the bar or go to dinner, but we're not trying to get into nightclubs.
Yeah.
But if I had some of my single friends from like when I was in the military, all they wanted me to do was go out and party with them.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm married. I can't be going to dorm parties. So.
Yeah, but I also think like if I were to tell you like I am not going to go out, like I'm not going to go to a club, I'm not like.
Then are you going to get ostracized? By the girls who are like, oh, well, she's just going to stay in the hotel room.
But there's also like if I look at you and I tell you like I'm not going to go do that, like there's a point where you're like, okay, I can trust that.
Yeah.
And
there's a certain trust factor as well with like your friends that like.
Well, and that's what
you
I was
have to
say.
Trust that the people I'm going out with, and I have to trust people you're going out with.
Yes. If I don't trust someone like a friend that you were to go out with, I wouldn't want you to.
Yeah.
So like it's a level of like you have to respect the fact that I don't like or respect someone that
I'm friends with.
But we're not really in that position. Like the people who you're friends with now, like you would trust if I went somewhere with
them. Yeah. So,
I don't know.
It's just a funny thing because like, I also think there's a double-edged sword, not double-edged sword. I'm sorry. Double standard where guys will do like guys golfing trips and be gone for a weekend and then won't let their wives go to like a girls' weekend. Yeah. Right. And the same thing, vice versa. Girls will go on a girls' vacation, but then don't want their husbands.
See, that's.
See that it happens. It happens all the time. So let us know in the comments down below. What were you gonna say?
It all just depends on your relationship.
Yeah, you got to have a good relationship. You got to have an understanding there of that. But I seen that, and I was like, man, I'm kind of conflicted on this a little bit because I have the kind of values that align with that as well. As far as I would not want you going out with single friends, over a 2 week, not 2 week, a weekend, 2-day vacation, where if I'm like, hey, is everything okay?
I think it would just be different though. Like if they were like my best friends, like growing up from childhood and they just happen to be single, like that's different. But if I like made a new single friend, like.
But even that, I don't know if I would be, because everyone has that one friend that's perpetually single. Everyone has that one friend that's like
my sister's single. Oh no, she's not.
No, she's not. She's got her a man.
She does now.
But I'm not saying your sister. I'm saying I'm saying groups of friends.
I guess it depends on what the trip was going to be about. Like if the trip was specifically to go out and like party and like live it up, like okay, I could see like the hesitancy there. But if like the girls' trip, like your best friend growing up, she happens to be single, but the trip was to go like sightseeing.
No.
Okay.
Sorry. So I was gonna say before I was rudely cut off here. Let us know in the comments down below what you think. Would you let your significant other go on a
like?
Okay, Jesus Lord have mercy.
Like it just sounds.
Would you be okay? Is that better?
That does sound better.
Golly,
it does.
Would you be okay?
Yeah.
For men, would you let? Would you be okay if your significant other went on a all girls or all boys vacation weekend, without, I guess you could say, a lot of details, right? Because if I'm saying, hey, I'm going on a boys weekend, and you ask, what are you guys going to do? What's the guy usually going to go? I don't know. We're just going to go hang out, probably go to this place or whatever. not giving you a lot of detail.
I mean, yeah, I would definitely want to know what the plan was.
Would you be okay with it? Would you be okay with it? Let us know in the comments down below. If you go on these vacations, how do you talk about that with your significant other? How do you cross that bridge with them? Because there are some couples out there where, like, the guy in this example wants to stay home. He doesn't want to go do that kind of thing. Yeah. He's a homebody, and his wife wants to go on these trips, right? And business trips don't count. That's business. You also have to realize that, like, your partner is still, like, their own person too. So, like, there's things that they enjoy, like, that they want to do as, like, their own person. Yeah, and I get that.
So, like, I mean, it really, there's just, like, a whole lot.
It's tough, isn't it?
But for, like, this specific scenario that you brought up, it seemed like this guy was, like, talking about just, like,
he's dead set against being with someone who feels the need to have a single gendered night out.
Yeah, like, it's not. Yeah, I don't know. That's just weird to me.
Yeah, well, is what it is. That was what I seen. That and was like, oh, that's a good one to talk about because I could see both sides. So, with that being said, this has been episode 5. Episode 5. Wow. We went through some unpopular opinions. Yeah. Went through a little bit of a situation. Right? So I just, I love this. I love what we're doing.
Yeah.
I love that we're doing this together too.
Yeah, me too.
So, all right. Well, if you want to catch more action, be right here next week where we will have episode 6. And if you want even more action, the double action, patreon.com is where you can catch another weekly episode that we do on there. So, again, thank you so much for the love and support. Make sure to share this out with everybody. This has been episode 5.
I'm Danyelle.
You always do that.
What?
You see that? I cue her in all the time, and she pauses.
I'm listening to what you're talking, or what you're saying. And then
so you're who? What's your name? Who are you?
I'm Danyelle.
And I'm Vince. And we'll see you next week.